Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Luke Dooley at Ocean, and we're continuing with our founder series. This is actually our last conversation in the Ocean Accelerators founder series, and it is with the founder of a company called Equine Smartbit. This is Mike Saigh. He's the co-founder and CEO of Equine Smartbit. And I'm sure you're going, what in the world is an Equine Smartbit? It's a question I and all of us had, and as we've learned what it is, we're blown away by this cool idea. We're even more blown away by this amazing guy that's here with me today. His name's Mike, and Mike, we're thrilled to have you on, and it's been a joy to have you a part of Ocean Accelerator for the last few months. Thanks for joining us.
And thank you, and it's been a joy for us as well. Thank you.
Yeah. So hey, real quick, tell us about before we jump into like your business. Tell us a little bit about yourself, like your background. I know you're kind of an inventor. I mean this in the most complimentary sense, kind of a mad scientist kind of a guy, right?
My surroundings probably tell you all. You have a dead horse up on the shelf here, so I guess so. I started. I always wanted to be an inventor, and I started on the invention process in my 20s, and that particular invention was a pretty good success. It pertained to video on demand, the first electronic book in history, leading to the Kindle, and also the invention of iTunes. They call it iTunes now, but all those collectively for protecting content on a mobile device.
Wow.
And so those patents and all the IP, they were sold to Paul Allen. So it gave me an opportunity to do other
Tell folks
things.
who Paul Allen is.
Well, actually, in my opinion, he's the brains behind Microsoft.
Yeah.
He's really the brains behind it. Bill Gates, everyone knows, but his partner was Paul Allen, and that's an interesting story in itself. But just a brilliant guy, and he did very, very, very well with it. I received royalties from it over a period of time. He licensed to everybody, including Apple, including Amazon, including all the people that have digital information, because it was the dawning of the analog stage to digital. I happened to be there at the right time, and the reason I was there at the right time, I taught in the business school and at UMSL, University of Missouri St. Louis, and it really gave me the opportunity to test the various prototypes as it got smaller and faster during the years. I was able to show the students. It started with a typewriter size, and then I reduced it, and I reduced it again. I made a tablet-looking device. I made other devices, and it was able to digitally download, since we scanned books, books or whatever the intellectual property or IP was, or content, whether it be a movie as well, even though that was very slow at that time, and be able to securely play it, and protect copyright during that time that you use it. And so the library worked with me too. The library at UMSL, they were very, very helpful. I knew that you had two different situations. You could buy intellectual property or copyright a book, music, a video, or music on demand, whatever. But there has to be music on demand and renting a book at the library too. So it had to self-destruct. That renting a book really gave me the idea of what I called auto erasure. And of course, it's called now video on demand, because it self-destructs. It goes to a certain time and goes away. Wow. So I did that, and then I had to look at features, pagination, scrolling, highlighting, all the things you see in the Kindle was something I developed as well from a software standpoint. So that went on from there.
Man, Mike, that's fascinating. Like you were doing this work on the very front end of this.
It was 86.
Kind of, holy cow, 86.
I started 86, and it took me 3 years to develop. I introduced it to NACS, National Association of College Stores in New Orleans, I think in 1991. And it was like we were from outer space. We had actual digital downloads from many devices we developed by then, and books being downloaded from A to B. And it took for society and publishers, I went to Simon Schuster, Prentice Hall, Houghton Mifflin, McGraw-Hill. You name the publishers, I went there in New York, showing this thing, and it was just too early for them.
Wow.
They couldn't wrap their arms around, even though they would change education. That was my marketplace. That's where I wanted to go, rather than recreational use of this technology. I wanted to go and change education like never before, and we think we could have.
Wow.
But the issue was they weren't ready. So I worked on it. I worked on it more and refined it and wrote more patents. And by the time, then they finally had dawned on them. They save so much money. They don't have to go through the printing and distribution process. They don't have to go through any of that stuff, and they can actually have this content that's alive, if you will, updated immediately digitally.
That's
And
so
so
cool, man.
that's how it started.
Well, what I just heard from you, so much there to talk about, and what a cool past, what a cool story. But really, what I heard, what I want to call out is, you're a guy who solves problems, right? You're a futurist, so you kind of see the way things as they might be in the future, and then you solve those problems maybe before even people think about there being a problem. And so, all right, you were in this kind of digital media patent, conversation. You were leading in this regard, and now fast forward to 2020, you have found yourself at Ocean Accelerator, a 4-month program here in Cincinnati. You're from St. Louis, or you live in St. Louis, and you're here with a company that you've co-founded called Equine Smartbit. Very different in a lot of ways, but similar in some ways around data, right? But very different in a lot of ways to the work that you were doing before. But tell us about Equine Smartbit, what that company is, and the problem that Equine is solving.
Well, that's there's been a lot of projects in between, some
I
failures
bet.
and some big successes, many, but I won't get into that. But Equine was, it's dear to my heart in a lot of ways. Initially, Luke, we started a patent process in 2014, and it was really putting a smart mouth guard for coaches to put in the mouth. And now the coach can read all the players' vitals. That's SpO2, temperature, pulse, and other measurements scientifically, and know when to substitute a player as it pertains to performance. And they could do it for the entire team. And so that the technology back then, it's getting there, and we're going there with patents as well as technology. We decided to go with horses with that same concept because the horse's mouth was larger. Simple as that.
Could put more in there.
Here's a horse bit. Here's the embedded. I don't know if you can see that, but here's the embedded module, and I can show you the what we developed. It's these things. These are PCB boards. They're very, let me see, complex. 9 sensors in this. It's encased in a bulletproof module, and so we tried it. We said it's never been done. The equine industry is really backwards. Really, the horse bit hasn't changed in 3,400 years. And so you're dealing with this. How can you win on a thoroughbred track if you're dealing with 3,400-year-old technology? You can't do it. Or you can try, but this greatly improves your chances of winning. 95% of horses on the track don't win. 95%, enormous. So how about we increase their odds, since they have so much money and they put so much energy in it? Be your best. So we started with that concept. We found, after testing 60 horses, that there's a huge market. There's a great deal of viability in the marketplace, a big need, and we are going to be commercially ready by next month with commercial products. And by the way, we pre-sold them all, the first batch of devices, which is pretty neat too.
That's incredible. So you're solving a problem. You've already talked to your market. You've already done, beta, right? Like, you've already proven, A, it works. You've proven demand. I'm sure people that are horse trainers and owners, people that, like you said, are spending lots and lots of money on this,
Yeah.
they're probably seeing this, and maybe they think you're from another planet at first, like these folks did from the trade show years ago. But then you probably show, I am imagining you show them this is how it works. This is the data you're going to begin to
Mhm.
understand about your horse around the vitals, around the health, around the vitality, and they're probably going, oh my gosh, like I need to know this information. Is that kind of the response? Is that what you're
I
seeing from folks?
it has been the response, and that's well said. The scientific method is not used. Now it's gut feel. Well,
Mhm.
totally gut feel. And so when science is involved, scientific method, you doing this in real time. So I'm gonna give you a scenario. You have a jockey, he's going 40 miles an hour, he's training, and his trainer is on the side of the track. He's going past the first and second and third furlong. And the trainer is telling the jockey in real time, my goodness, his SpO2 is really up there. It's 99.8%. His heart rate is pretty good too. It's about 120. And horses, by the way, have a much larger range. It goes from 35 to 240.
Wow.
So he said, you can really push this horse. It has potential. It really does. Otherwise, they wouldn't know. And so the horses that don't have potential, they get fractures and they're injured. And about 10,000 horses are injured in equine sports globally a year
Wow.
and euthanized. I mean, so we can help do this humanely, if you will. We can help not only the trainer and the jockey and equine sports. There's 40 of them. Be better now than ever before, but actually we can really save a lot of agony and in the field, and really
Wow.
create a new paradigm for the racing track, as well as other equine sports, as dressage or whatever it is.
Yeah. Mike, I love this, man. It's so cool. I think people are probably watching this going, wow, what a cool idea. And I want that for myself. Like, man, I wish I had a personal bit, or I wish my dog had a bit. I wish, but hey, you don't know, right? Like that's kind of the beauty of this company, of this tech, is like, who knows what's possible? Who knows what the
Right.
future could be for advancements in this arena and in this product? I love that you guys are market ready in a month. When folks hear you, you're going to be pitching at Demo Day on May
Mhm.
7th, right? Our
Right. Yeah.
virtual demo day, oceandemoday.com. If you're not familiar,
Right.
get there, oceandemoday.com. Register, it's free. It's going to be an hour and a half long virtual event. We have two portions: the live pitches and this fun interactive Q&A segment. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be really cool. So check it
It,
out,
it sure
oceandemoday.com.
will.
Yeah,
Right.
it's gonna be fun, man. So, man, I love that they're gonna hear you talk about this at a time when it's ready, or it's just on the brink of being ready for market. That's so fun. Hey, real quick curiosity, like, did you know all this about horses before you got into it, or have
No.
you been like
No.
on a fast
No. No.
track
No.
of
Well, I should
education here?
say I went. I used to go to in New Mexico. There's a ranch called the Corralitos Ranch. It's 280 square miles. It's a working ranch, about 2,000 head of cattle. A very famous ranch. It was owned by Bissell family, J.P. Morgan prior to that, and Teddy Roosevelt actually trained the Rough Riders on this property.
Oh wow.
It's absolutely amazing. And so, and I was very friendly with the Foster family and Brian, who passed away, by the way, and really good friend. And he said, okay, but you're going to have to sign your life away. How's your insurance? Here's a waiver. I'm not a good rider, and they put me on a mule. For 10 years I've been doing, but it was so much fun. I went on roundups with these real true cowboys. And you couldn't see a wire. If you just kind of close your eyes, forgot what year it is, you would think you're in 1870. It's just absolutely, it was amazing.
Wow.
And so that's the only experience I have.
That's
And
pretty good experience, though. That's
it was
that's
pretty
pretty
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Hey, talk a little bit about your experience at Ocean.
Oh boy.
You made this decision to come here. Um, was that an easy decision? Was it hard? Do you regret it? Are you thrilled about it? Tell us a little bit about your experience.
It was kind of a sad period. My mother passed away December 19th, and 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 we committed ourselves, but she was in hospice then, and we couldn't commit ourselves. If she continued to improve, eventually, I would still be here. But we decided, at the last minute, and thank goodness for Ocean being understanding. They were just so understanding about it and wonderful to us. They said, "Come." Okay, so and we did. So I rented, very quickly rented a room. I sleep on an air mattress for the last few months, and I just thought that it's one of the best organizations, if not the best, I've ever been to. We've won a lot of awards, a lot of recognition all over the world, a lot of grants. But this particular period of time at Ocean has been one of the best experiences of my life.
Wow. Man, Mike, that's humbling to hear. Thank you for saying that. I want to know more about what's made it the best. What have you enjoyed? What have you experienced? But also, I want to reference. You've said we a bunch of times. Who's the we in this equation here?
Well, I look at the cohorts, tell you the truth, and Shower, my wonderful
Yeah,
co-founder, and
right.
and the people, Jack and Olivia, people in the company are just amazing. Great team. But the co-founders and Randy and Scott and Dave, it's just the co-founders, and we became a tight-knit group, especially when you go through this awful thing that's going on. You become even closer. You become tighter. You become family. It really was. It felt, and I'll give you an example. Uh, let's talk about Nathan Rent, if I could. Is that okay?
Please.
Um, I think Nathan and Stacy are one of the classiest couples I've ever met. Uh, and I think the timing, even though this is an awful situation, their timing is absolutely perfect because now the renters and the landlord, they're going to say, okay, to retain you, because they're both hurting now, to retain you, I can give you some credit. I can help you out. And the renter's going to say, hey, do you need a little coat of paint over here? Or, let's help each other out compatibly and both of them win. Let's talk about Marvin. Marvin, wonderful Marvin, haircuts. I'm going to be in the first seat in the barber chair. I believe it. I need it. That after he gets the app, and I'm going to have a picture, and that picture is going to be sent to his network, and I and I think I really feel as though that he's going to be in a catbird seat, and I'll tell you why. Will want to be pampered after this.
Yeah.
Pampered. They're going to want to be pampered, and whom best to be pampered at your barbershop and do the nails and all that stuff. Who better? He's in a great position, and he's going to really prosper. And I think it's just going to be amazing for him. And also this is a benevolent stage in society, I hope,
Yeah.
and he's going to benefit from that too.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Trace. I was my desk was next to Matt and Mallory, and their work ethic intensity. Believe me, I know. I'm right next to him. Was unbelievable. It was just amazing to see how intense they were.
Mhm.
I wish they were back in Cincinnati too. Romania, oh my goodness, Romania. Jim and Keisha, they are when we talk, we're friends now. When we talk, all we do is laugh. I mean, we laugh, and we tell jokes, we laugh, it's so much fun. And what I think, in my opinion, humble opinion, I think they're in a catbird seat as well. You're protecting privacy while securely selling your data and making money on it for individuals, small companies, and large companies. How perfect, with a tight dollar right now, that will be. Each one of these companies, in my opinion, have tremendous opportunity, and Ocean, giving them credit, chose all of them.
Wow, Mike, man, that's an amazing overview. You're right. It was such a special group, is such a
Yeah,
special group. And
absolutely.
we are all disappointed about the way the Accelerator has ended with COVID and our inability to be together regularly in the office. And we do look forward to Demo Day when we'll be able to be back together for a brief
Yep,
period of time with proper social
absolutely.
distancing, of course, in place. But we're looking forward to that. And man, you
Hmm.
just gave this incredible commercial for Demo Day and for the Accelerator. So thank you, man. If you are hearing some of what Mike just said, about those companies and you're thinking, I want to learn more. Wait, what's Romania and what's Care Cuts? And tell me about, Rent and why are they positioned well? Or what's Trace all about? We have interviewed, just like we did with Mike, over the last 4 Wednesdays, we've had a conversation with every single one of these companies. And so you can go find all of those. You can see all those interviews in a couple different places. You can find them on Ocean's Facebook page, and you'll also be able to find them at oceandemoday.com. And that website is going to have individual websites for each of the companies down there, and you'll be able to find these interviews there as well. Oceandemoday.com, there it is on the bottom of the screen. Mike, man, you have become just a beloved figure at Ocean in our office and with this cohort. You are kind of chief encourager, chief. You're quick to offer compliments. You're so kind, compassionate. I know every single person that you rattled off just now feels marvelously about you, and it was a joy to have you a part of this. And man, I could sit here and talk to you for another hour on this live stream, but unfortunately, I don't think people would watch us for an hour and 20 minutes. So
you may be, but yeah, and you're Luke. You introduce all of us, as you know, during orientation to the city of Cincinnati, and you did a marvelous job. And I wanted to go. I will go to all the places you recommend someday. Okay, is that a promise?
Let's do it, man. I'll hold you to that. Mike, thanks for jumping on. Bless you as well. Hey, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone else. You stay back here, and I'll say goodbye to you in just a minute. Hey, guys, thanks for being a part of this chat. That was the end of kind of our founder series of these Monday, Wednesday, Friday chats. You can go check all those out on the past few Wednesdays. You can meet all the founders, and you can join us at Ocean Demo Day on May 7th. It's really simple. It's free. It's going to be really, I'm convinced this is going to be a point of light in a really bleak season, because we're talking about renewal. We're talking about new things. We're talking about creativity and innovation. We're talking about, we're going to meet some co-founders of some businesses who want to disrupt the industry that they're part of. And they're going to be announcing and unveiling those plans to the world at Demo Day. And you should be there. You should tune in to support them, to be inspired, to be encouraged, and share the word. We would love to have you join us there. Hey, I'll be back on Friday with another conversation. We look forward to that one as well. Talk to you guys soon.